Hi, everybody. It's Anita Jackson. No, it's not Jaslyn Denise, and it's because she's on maternity leave, and I've been given yet again an opportunity to speak to the ladies about this week's lesson, praying the names of God, which is week 17, and the name this week is Melek. And the name means king. And I had gone through a little something something here looking for um, uh, this lesson is a song. And the uh, I'm reading from page 92. The Israelites believed that Yahweh was Melech or king, not just over Israel, but over every nation on earth. I'm going to stop there. That's what the thought was, but they didn't live like that. Even though, I mean, I, for lack of a better word, 47 is acting like a king. He thinks he's the Lord over. He thinks he's over everything. He does. Well, anyway, um, they understood that the temple in Jerusalem was the earthly symbol of God's heavenly throne, and they expected a coming Messiah who would one day save his people from their enemies, establishing his rule over the whole world. Well, in this lesson brings us to a place where there's a story about a man named Obed Edom. Have you guys ever heard of this brother? Biblically, Obed Edom. Okay,
I know the name, but I don't remember the story about him.
okay. Obed Edom. The Ark of the Covenant was left with Obed Edom, um, because they were trying to bring the ark back from one of their battles, and in trying to bring it back, they um, were given instructions from heaven that said, "This is how you carry this ark." So they come marching back from war, and the Ark of the Covenant hits a rock or something, and it's about to fall. And this brother tries to catch it, and he immediately dies. And they thought that God was mad at them or something, and so they didn't know how to deal with the ark anymore. So the ark got left at Obed Edom's house. You getting me now? The king was left at Obed Edom's house. David didn't take him into the city with him, um, or to the actual temple. It was at Obed Edom's house. Everybody was having challenges except Obed Edom. His family prospered, and I'm giving y'all my Irvine Pittsburgh's synopsis of this story. And so he was prospering, and David got a little bit jealous, and and the reason this happened was because of not dealing with the king in the way that they should have dealt with him. Okay, and so they had to recalibrate. They had to recalibrate. They had to go back and say, okay, this would have did. David had to recalibrate. He had to go back and look back over what he did or what he didn't do, and you know, and he was the king. He could have taken it from Obed Edom at any time. It wasn't like after they said he said here, keep it here. But this brother was prospering, and everybody around him, everybody in town, everybody was not doing good. Only because they hadn't gone to the king to ask the question, what must I do to be?
Mm.
David finally did, and he went back for the ark. And when they came back from picking up the ark from Obed Edom, the song that they sing now, this is the way we sang it when we were kids. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lifted up, ye everlasting arms, and the King of glory can come in. The King of glory can come in. Who is this King of glory? I mean, the song goes on. It's the song. I know it because when we were kids, we were singing. And what was happening was when David was bringing the ark back, he had them swing the doors of the palace or wherever it was going, swing the doors open and say, the king is coming. The Lord is coming. I'm bringing the king in. I'm bringing the king back in. I'm bringing him in. And that's where the song was written from. David wrote it to say that I'm bringing the Lord back. And so as this woman is saying what she's saying, they believe that that's where the king resided. Does he live in your house? Does he live in your house? Where's the king at in your house? That's that. Where's the king at? Do you have him? Is your ark somewhere close to where whatever is going on around you, other folk was doing not so well? I mean, really, the story is a very. I'm loving this, and she puts it. The New Testament presents Jesus as the King of Kings, and then it requests us to go to week 33, but whose perfect obedience ushered in the kingdom of heaven. And so he was being obedient. He went back, brought the covenant back the way it was supposed to come into their house. I wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Who is the king? I mean, that's what he did. He wrote a song about the way he felt upon bringing the spirit back into the house, bringing the ark back into the house. You're saying that that God has a special place here, but you have him over here in the neighbor's house. He's not in your house. He was David. You know what all he's done for you. You know what all you know all of that. All of the stuff that's even happened even for you to get to that. And then you going to put the main thing over at somebody else's house. Who's Melek? So where's Melek is where what the question should be. Where is Melek? And for the last 2,000 years, God's kingdom has continued to spread through every nation, tribe, people, and language as men and women accept Christ's rule. You know, it's written in the Bible somewhere where he's not coming back until everybody's been made aware of who he is.
Mm.
It's written there somewhere. Has anybody heard that? He's not coming back until then. So that's king worthy. I'm not going back. He's done everything else he said he would do. Everything else he said he would do. And if he hasn't done something that you think he should have done, it's because your thinking is wrong.
Mm.
He's not a respecter of persons. He gonna do exactly for Oda. What? No, he's not. He said, "I'm not gonna do what I did for." He said this to Joshua. I'm not gonna do what I did for Moses, but I'm gonna be with you. You see, I'm going to be with you like I was for Moses. Because your situation and my situation aren't going to be the same. So, you know, if you looking at me and you seeing my life and how my life is going, the king is not going to give you the same that he's given to his other, for lack of a better word, subjects. He's not going to do it. And again, the story is in my mind questioning, where is your king? Where, where is it? So then she goes on to say, God's kingdom has continued to spread through every nation, tribe, people, and language as men and women accept Christ's rule. When you pray to Yahweh Melek, you are praying to the God who watches over the entire world. And when I started reading this, I was like, oh boy, if I'd have read this a day sooner, I might have been having some praying words for the election. For how, I mean, come on. I mean, if we think about the whole idea that he has, what did it just say? Every nation, tribe, people, and language. So remember Babel, they were in the same room, but they understood what each one of them was saying. So all I'm saying, if I just say, Lord, if my prayers can be answered and acknowledged as a result of what the king has given me by being, if I can come to you and pray and ask, then I can ask for you, Amber. And he will hear me. Another way of acknowledging who he's the rule over everything. He got it all. Why can't I go to him and ask him for something for you? And you might get it quicker because I'm asking for it unselfishly. You know, I mean, just the way the rules work. He's the ruler. He sets the rules. And the Ten Commandments, all of that stuff he gave to the people after they came up out of Israel because they did not know how to be free. There was only 3 things he said we needed to do. One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Ghost. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind. Just love me. Love thy neighbor is that all of his love. And if we just follow those 3 rules, because there's over 600 written somewhere, you know, but if you did the first 3, then you don't have to worry about the other 500 and whatever. Because the king has given us the roadmap that we need to get to where we need to go. Yahweh Melek, when you pray to Yahweh Melek, you are praying to the God who watches over the whole earth and who will one day come in glory to usher in an eternal kingdom of peace and righteousness. And that's basically, if I was to give a depiction of what David was doing, he opened the doors and he allowed the king to come in and to dwell in the place that they had built for him. And even if we just say, there's our bodies, bring the king in. On page 95, the scripture, lift up your hands, ye gates, be lifted up, you ancient doors, so that the Melek of glory may come in. And one week, I wasn't on last week, but one week the question was asked, where's she getting all of these scriptures from? Because I go through even just to figure out, it may be the Jerusalem Bible, a more Jewish version of the Bible. that the words, even though they are synonymous, this is how when the interpreter wrote it, they wrote it from a Jewish perspective. Does that make sense? Because the word, it's just a couple of words that are different, but it's, what it means in Judaism or the Jewish language. Um, God reveals his name in scripture. The lesson was Psalms 24, 7 through 10. But as um, I was looking to see the timing. As anybody got a question or a comment? I'm just talking. No?
No,
Okay.
I'm writing notes as you talk.
Okay.
I'm adding
So,
to my notes because I did some stuff and I'm just adding to my notes because now it's making me spark another thought. So,
okay, but you could, if we come in close, if we in the same ballpark, you can tell me what you was thinking too. Did you
oh,
just want me to keep?
I'm still working on my thought. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. This, so one of the other things that I wrote was that David is in this song when he's saying what he's saying. Again, it was the relocation of the Ark of the Covenant from the house of Obed Edom to Mount Zion. So when I was telling you that story, the story is in 2 Samuel, the 6th chapter. That's a good read, um, especially from when we were talking earlier, and you were saying um, that word again, your recalibration, because you think that's what you have to do to the car to make it do what it's supposed to do, and the idea of doing this on a more adult. I like what you said, uh, Lexi. That doing adult things, recalibration is an adult thing. Because I had to ask what you meant when you were saying I'm recalibrating. I'm like, okay, what? But that's what we do when we examine ourselves on a communion day. Examine yourself and see where you have misplaced the king, or where you've done things outside of what you should have done to get me to the place you needed to be. Does that make sense? Did you understand that? You know, you should have brought me all the way in, but you stumbled. It's okay that we stumble. It's okay that we stumble, but don't go to such an extreme to try to be responsible for me, the king. Do you understand what I'm saying? He died. I was like, he was just trying to catch the ark, but there were rules. There were the king had rules, and so one of the rules was don't touch this. The same rule he told Eve, and she did. The same rule he tells us when we're being taught lessons. Don't touch the stove. But he did. And now, just those little things that and the story of Obed Edom shows that, well, I don't even know if there's somewhere in the story why I don't remember why he was the chosen one to get the blessing. Why did he get that? I mean, I'm not clear about it, but we ask each other that. Why she got that? Where's my dad? Where's my dad? And David started getting jealous. that Obed Edom was prospering, and he was the king. I don't know what extra, but he was just living his best life with the king. You get it? Yeah. He was living his best life. And so David said, David probably went man after God's own heart and did some things, said some things, and God said, okay, dude, go get it. And he told him what to do. Now, all of that, I don't know the answer, but when we pray for one another when we come to these sessions. We ask one another how we're doing. And if he is who we say we believe he is, then when Jazz goes to prayer for us and she writes it down and she says she's going to go to him in my secret spot, in my praying spot, I'm going to go to the king for you. And I've heard you guys say about life-changing things that the king has done in your lives as a result of he's ruler over all. So if I go to him for you, if you go to him for me, if he's gonna hear me from my heart. From my heart. Am I serious that I want to see Lexi do all she needs to do to get those children into that space? Lord, I think of Lexi, I think of her petition. Our King will hear our requests, even though he, like the sands of time, he'll hear it. He knows it. He can count the hairs on your head. So the procession accompanied the singing accompanied the ark going in, and they did music. It was supposed to be this really like a Juneteenth parade, I guess. And the psalm was composed for the city because the people at worship would sing the song, or the people sang this song as they were entering into the city. Lift up, everybody, wake up. The king is here. We're bringing, because they believed, they understood that the temple in Jerusalem was the earthly symbol of God's heavenly throne, and they expected a coming Messiah who would one day save his people from their enemies, establishing his rule over the whole world. That was their hope. What's your hope? What is your hope? You know? David's telling us that the Lord owns, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. David is telling us that the earth is the Lord's and everything, everybody, he's telling us that. And if we don't get it, Obed Edom got it. One man, it's a good story to read. One man reading this. So, doing what he did, he respected the king, and that's why he prospered. I don't know why. I don't know why, and I think that's a good thing for me to go back and check. But I don't know why he prospered so much. I don't have the answer to say that but what is it that you need to recalibrate so that you can receive the blessings? Because is the Lord saving you from yourself or saving you from something that you've done? That he's still saving you from yourself, but he's never going to leave us. He's never going to forsake us. And the king is the only one that can banish. I mean, you might tell me to get out of your life. Okay, I probably need to leave. But banishing to hell, a way out, Lord is the only one that can do that. David wrote
That's
that those who lead a righteous life will receive blessings from God. That was in 24, that's the 3rd through the 6th verses that he's talking about that. Because we only start this reading at verse 7. That's why it's good to go back and read what was going on before we got to 7 that made him say, lift up your head. He's basically, God is rightly considered the master of everyone and everything. That's Psalms 1 and 2. That's just the first 2 verses of this. And that God is, you like that song? God is. And as king, he's everything. I mean, God is, you can fill in the blank. And in this instance, because of how the people felt about kings, because David was only the 2nd king. First king was Saul. You know, they were crying, they wanted a king, and they were like, you really want that? You really want that? Over 10 million people said yes. I'm talking about 47 now. But the point I'm making is that the people said yes because they voted for him, because they said yes. And so they ended up with Saul. And Saul was everything that is represented on Pennsylvania Avenue. Saul and his crew and what he did to people. And I'm loving the idea that we've been given access to saying, okay, but there is a king coming. There is salvation on its way, the Messiah. There is salvation on the way if you receive it when it comes. There is that it is coming. It's coming. And so he told the entire city of Jerusalem, that's where David was. That's where the ark was supposed. Uh-oh. Oh, my screen just jumped on me. That's where the ark was supposed to be, in Jerusalem. That's where he was trying to get it to. He had gotten it back from folk that had no business with it anyway. It was just a nice something to have, because when they were enslaved, they took the ark. Have you been in a battle for your king? And if he can do everything, if he does everything, if all of that can happen, then, and you're feeling like, why don't I get it? Where's your king? Go ask your king. Go find the answer in your communication with your king. Go inside of yourself. Where is that place that you can go to first lift your head up, especially if it's not a good thing? Because the people were having challenges because Obed-Edom was getting everything. Or it seemed like Obed-Edom was getting everything. Or it seemed like our administration is getting everything and just taking things away and just look at it from today, from real life. This is why I'm loving this story, because it's giving us a look at reality. And he's saying, lift up your head, O ye gates. First let him in. Open the gate. Open. Be open. Be lifted up, you ancient doors, so that the kings, or so that Melek, the Melek of glory, may come in. You want to know? The next thing is, I'm telling you, I know this song from a kid. Who is this King of glory? That's the scripture. Yahweh, strong and mighty. Yahweh, heroic in battle. I mean, he was saying, I know that something's getting ready to change because I let the king in. I don't know how quickly it's going to change. I don't know. But I know a change is coming. That was verse 8. Here goes verse 9. I'm going to tell you one more time. Lift your head up. Be lifted up, ye ancient doors. You old, you tired, you what? Open the door so that the King of glory may come in. You're going to ask again. Who then is this King of glory? Ask yourself that. Who, who, where is my king? If you know where your king is, you know who, what, when, where. You know. Who then is this Melek of glory? And then, okay, it brings back several words that I didn't read it until right now. Yahweh, which is the Lord. The next one is Tesbah. Remember we talked about that? So they're bringing in Tesbah. I'm gonna have to. Can you look that up to tell me which one of those lessons it was and what that name? Remind us of what that name is.
It's the Lord of hosts.
See, who is this King of glory? So then it's like, who then is this King of glory? And the way I know the song, the Lord strong and mighty. You see what? And the test box. Remember, we were talking earlier about the word that they may have used in Judaism is synonymous with the word we might use, but we're not. We didn't write that. So I'm loving this lesson, and I think I've had enough. I think y'all have had enough for me. Any questions or comments? It's where is your king? And
No,
if you
you
read
did
the
a great job,
lessons,
Auntie.
oh,
That
thank you.
was
If you read,
definitely really good. I'll share my
okay, I'm
notes
glad you.
that
Okay,
I wrote while I
please.
was listening. Because I did read it and all that, and I did my other notes, but then you gave me some more insight of how to look at it. So what I wrote down was Melek. I'm probably not saying it right, but it's a noun, person, place, and thing. Having it in your possession is to gain the things of the world, the kingdom, the inheritance, the grace and glory, peace, all the things. Leaving the ark, which is the king, behind ensures stagnation. Ignoring the rules ensures hardships. Going forward with God, going forward with God ideas, that's what I like to call them, God ideas. Those things that fester in your head that you should do that, like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should build that. Maybe I should, those God ideas, going forward with those God ideas, because going forward with God placed on you brings prosperity. Your request you put before Him is pretty much helping you do what is required. But you have to do what is required. What was required was them to take the ark with them. They didn't do that. But Obadiah, however you say his name, he did what was
Obed
required. And he,
Edom.
Obed Edom, he did what was required and he kept the ark with him in his house. And so therefore, that prosperity, it brought that prosperity to him because he did what the request was, which don't put it down, take you with you.
Or don't try to
And
catch it.
David, or yeah, or don't try to catch it and die. David and then they got scared. And I think like, okay, so you saw this tragic thing happen. Oh, so that's a bad thing. I'm just not good, They got scared, so they left it behind. But that's not what he
Okay.
said. And so since you still didn't do what he said, you had to watch someone else prosper while you
Prosper.
stay stagnant and while you had hardships. When you're supposed to be above everything else, David was supposed to be the king. He's supposed to be above all these other people. But he didn't do what was required. He didn't do what was requested of him. Me not doing my God ideas, I have learned, which is a request for me to keep going. And again, we try to do things for the edification of the kingdom. By me not doing my part, and God have to have somebody else do my part, is not what doing what I was required to do. So therefore, I can't grow. I can't get above the threshold I've already been, which is not a terrible place. I've done well for myself, but He has put me to do more. But you have to do what is required. the thing that he placed on you. It's going to be different for me. It's different for Lexi. It's different for you, Auntie. All those things are different that he placed on you to do, that's required of you to ensure that you have the grace, the glory, the peace, the inheritance, the kingdom, the world itself, however you want to see that. So that's what I was thinking of when you were talking in my notes. I had other notes too, but that's just a
You know, you sparked something when you said he was the king. And David was reminding us that no, Melek is the king of glory. But when you pointed that out, when you said, well, he was the king, he could have done, sometimes we think more highly of ourselves than we ought to, and it gets us in trouble that because he left it there.
he
But you
left it.
pointed out that the king left the king. That was good. I
He
mean that
told you what to do, and you did
he,
the opposite. He gave you the God idea to make sure you prospered, and you still didn't do it.
so I'm gonna let Obed Edom. I'm gonna let him prod. I'm gonna let you see what you're missing out on by not bringing me into your house.
Yep.
That's the lesson. You what you got, Lex?
Um, so the whole time I just kept kind of replaying in my head, keep the king in his rightful place in your life. But now I'm thinking I need to sit before the Lord and get my God instruction and get my God ideas right, and hear from Him a little bit more, so that I don't mess up and have to watch other people win something that God like given to me, is
He
handed to
promised
me, and all
you.
I got to do is all I got to do is act right.
He promised you.
Isn't that so crazy? All you it's what's interesting when I started building my app. I wasn't on social media. I didn't see these things. The thought came to me and it kept festering me. But soon as I, was looking at a few things and I'm like, oh, other people thought the same thing. The devil gets in your head and be like, well, they're already doing it, so I'm not going to do it. No, it's still the idea that he gave you. People might see it from you and not them. And that still will allow you to prosper if you just do the idea he told you. He will give you your niche. That's
If
all
you
I'm
if
saying.
he is not a respecter of persons.
Yeah,
He not. So I'm not gonna do what I did for Moses, but I will be with you like I was with Moses. And that's what
exactly.
we gotta get to an understanding of that uh the king told him that. So as he progressed forward, he didn't have to wonder if this situation happened. God, you're going to do that for me, right? I know you're going to do that because you did it for Moses. But that's not how this is. That's not how this plays out, you know?
And it's so funny that the thought is, oh, you did it for Moses, you're gonna do it for me. And people think that it's the same way. And because the way Moses
That's
got
the
it was so
point.
grand, yes, the way Moses got it was grand, but you don't understand. He said, I'm gonna be with you the same way, not going to do the same thing, but being with you the same way may give you something grander than what Moses even had.
Mm,
But you try to go ahead and just stay at the basic package what Moses had. But that's not living your life abundantly if you just think that you can only get what that latter person had. All he's like, just keep me here, keep the king inside of you, take
that's
him
it.
with you, carry him on your back with that ark on your back, don't drop it. That's all you have to do in order to get your package.
You
Moses
got it.
had a package, you have a package.
You got it.
That package actually might be grander than what Moses had, but you would never know that if you don't carry him with you.
And it's relevant. I
Yeah.
don't want the same things that you want. I want things like some of the things I might think you have, but I don't want what you have.
And it's very easy to, the way I think of keeping the Lord with me is just a reminder of don't do anything that will make him upset with you, meaning do any bad things. You don't go around just stealing from people and scamming people. And if your idea or whatever you think you're trying to do doesn't harm anyone, I'm sure God will be with you in it. And he will carry you
Amen.
to ensure that you can actually prosper in that endeavor.
Amen.
But if you got in your mind that you about to scam 20 million people out of their money for $39.99 to teach you how to do AI when you know you can do it on YouTube
Well,
University,
they got me.
again, it's kind of like you're doing that. And how do you think? Yes, you might get a few people, but that's not what that's all you would get when he has something more in for you if you would have just brought him with you. Those standards with you.
Amen.
Yeah.
How you doing, Lexi?
We can't hear you, Lexi. You got us on mute.
I said I'm fine. I had to
Maybe.
order my dinner. I'm sorry. I'm all over the
That's
place today.
okay. That's okay, but you got it accomplished. You got it accomplished. Well, thank you all for our time. Ooh, we're close. And are there any petitions that we need to
Yeah,
get out
stop
of
your
here?
recording, Auntie.
Oh,
If you're gonna go into requests,
stop recording. Are you sure you want to stop recording to the cloud?